In today's video, as a therapist, I want to share my thoughts and experiences regarding the increasing cases of affairs, teenage girls losing their virginity, and, honestly speaking, in some cases, even getting pregnant without their parents knowing. Furthermore, this often leads to abortions and various other complications. I will discuss why I think these trends are happening, share my opinion on the matter, and I would really appreciate hearing your thoughts on it as well. It is important to understand that in today's era, we are torn between following Islamic values and becoming fully part of a secular system. Modern education, in particular, has intertwined with degrees, colleges, and universities. However, I believe that being educated is not necessarily about having a degree. A person without a degree can still be well educated, and conversely, a person with a degree may not necessarily be educated. These two concepts do not always align, and we need to redefine what true education means. Our modern educational system, especially in colleges and universities, is flawed, and I personally oppose much of it. I feel there is a lot of work to be done in reshaping both our educational system and mindset. For this reason, I decided not to send my children to school. My daughter, who will turn 11, has never attended school and has never seen the inside of a classroom. She is not formally educated, but alhamdulillah, she is doing really well. Similarly, my son did not attend school after nursery, and he is now 14. He works with me and is behind the camera helping with tasks. Both my children assist me in various ways. The point I want to emphasize is that the current education system is not preparing our children, especially girls, for the kind of values we wish them to have. The system doesn't nurture the values we want our daughters or our sons to have in their future relationships. This system isn't designed to cater to the intellectual needs of boys either, and it is not meeting their needs as individuals. Boys often find it difficult to focus in school because they learn in a different way, think differently, and have different intellectual abilities. This mismatch between the system and their needs causes frustration. On the other hand, girls tend to be better followers and excel in professions that require rote learning. As a result, girls are increasingly entering fields like medicine and gradually engineering too. However, in creative fields like IT, boys still lead. Many boys in these fields may not have formal degrees, but have learned skills independently and are succeeding. The current education system, in general, has made it easier for women to excel in following professions, while boys find it harder to fit into a standardized curriculum. When I work with girls who are struggling with their emotions and experiences, I often hear them share things they've never shared with anyone before. Their emotional struggles and need for attention are often met in ways that are unhealthy. Parents expect their children to manage their emotions and desires, but the reality is that, especially when children reach college or university, they're exposed to influences they are not equipped to handle. They are placed in environments where they are surrounded by smoking, drinking, and other distractions, and it's unrealistic to expect them to stay focused on their studies. If a child is placed in a situation with the opposite gender, it is natural for feelings to develop. Parents often overlook the importance of building strong emotional connections with their children to ensure they can communicate openly about their struggles. Children today mature much faster than we did. They are exposed to content on social media, cartoons, and phones that accelerates their awareness of these topics. The access to information they have is overwhelming, and when combined with a lack of parental guidance, it leads to confusion and emotional turmoil. As a result, they are much more vulnerable to getting involved in risky situations. These influences can be particularly damaging if they don't have a strong relationship with their parents or a high level of self-esteem. Self-esteem plays a significant role, and unfortunately, many young girls struggle with low self-worth, which makes them more susceptible to manipulation and exploitation. One of the major contradictions in our culture is the expectation that men want their wives to be virgins while simultaneously, societal norms have made it easier for young girls to lose their virginity. Men do not face the same consequences as women, and this is where the system is deeply flawed. Girls are often the ones who suffer in these situations, as they are more likely to be emotionally manipulated and trapped. Society continues to hold high expectations for women in ways that are unfair and contradictory, especially when it comes to maintaining their virginity. I believe that the education system should not just be about obtaining a degree, but also about shaping the values of our children. Girls, in particular, need to be empowered to recognize their self-worth and to avoid falling into situations where they are taken advantage of. The idea that a woman's value lies in her virginity or her educational achievements is problematic. We need to address these issues in the education system and focus on building strong moral foundations for both boys and girls. We know that girls today face immense pressure to pursue higher education, often extending well into their late 20s. However, this can take a toll on their emotional and social development. The focus on academic achievements, such as completing a master's degree or obtaining a medical degree, can lead them to neglect their emotional needs. These years, which should be formative in building healthy relationships, are often spent focused solely on academic goals. This pressure creates an environment where young people are exposed to situations that may lead to unhealthy relationships or emotional turmoil. It is rare for parents to provide the kind of strong emotional guidance that is needed in today's world. Most children are not given the proper training or supervision to navigate these complex situations. Parents must realize that their children need to feel supported and connected, not just in academics, but in all aspects of their lives. This is essential in helping them make healthy decisions and avoid falling into situations that could lead to exploitation or heartbreak. In conclusion, we have created an environment where it is far too easy for children, both boys and girls, to engage in unhealthy behaviors. These behaviors often lead to emotional and physical consequences, particularly for girls who are more vulnerable in these situations. Parents must take responsibility for providing the proper guidance and support to help their children navigate these challenges and avoid being trapped by societal pressures and expectations.